Is that Joe Biden trying to be president?
With the last words on my lips, that I am a revolutionary.
Hey, what's going on YouTube? It's your boy Superior, and thanks for watching Superior Thinking. Go ahead, subscribe to the YouTube channel and comment down below to continue the conversation. And today we're here to talk about Mr. Joe Biden and the filibuster. Yes, I had to look up that word. I had to look up 3 different definitions just to make sure I understood what he meant. During a broadcast, Mr. Joe Biden has some pretty bold things to say about the Republicans and bills that he wanted to pass. Here's what he had to say.
Hey, I'm making it clear, to protect our democracy, I support changing the Senate rules, whichever way they need to be changed to prevent a minority of senators from blocking action on voting rights. Filibuster is not used by Republicans to bring the Senate together, but to pull it further apart. Filibusters are weaponized and abused. All the state legislative assaults on voting rights is simple. All you need in your House and Senate is a pure majority. In the United States Senate, it takes a supermajority, 60 votes, even to get a vote, instead of 50 to protect the right to vote. State legislators can pass anti-voting laws with simple majorities. If they can do that, then the United States Senate should be able to protect voting rights by a simple majority. Next few days, when these bills come to a vote, will mark a turning point in this nation's history. We will choose. The issue is, will we choose democracy over autocracy, light over shadows, justice over injustice? I know where I stand. I will not yield. I will not flinch. I will defend the right to vote, our democracy against all enemies, foreign and, yes, domestic.
So one thing that I really appreciated that he did say was, 1, we will defend democracy either abroad or at home. So you already know who he is speaking to. But of course, he is now in a position to defend a couple of bills that he wants to get passed. One is the Freedom to Act vote and the John Lewis Voting Rights Acts. And those bills contain things such as defending our elections, reform money in politics, gerrymandering and fair representation, ensure every American can vote. Now, of course, you would think some Republicans should be on board with this bill. I mean, if there's something in this bill that I should be aware of, then Republicans need to make that known. But as from what I see, it sounds like it's a pretty fair deal. But of course, in my opinion, Republicans don't want a fair game because they know in a fair game they're going to lose every single year because they don't run on anything except for, hey, Democrats want to eat your kids, they want to suck your blood so they can live forever. That's pretty much the only thing that they run on, so they know they will lose. But of course, you're probably asking, hey, Mr. Superior, don't the Democrats have the House and the Senate and the presidency? And that is true. But of course, we have the 2 stooges that for some reason they ran on a totally different message. But now that they're in a seat of power, they're the only 2 people who are the only ones voting against pretty much everything. And that is Kirsten Sinema and Joe Manchin. Yes, those 2 are the only scrubs in the Democratic Party that is stopping at least, pretty decent things from coming out of Joe Biden and his administration. But of course, then that leads to the filibuster. Now, the filibuster is a Senate tradition of unlimited debate has allowed for the use of the filibuster, a loosely defined term for action designed to prolong debate and delay or prevent a vote on a bill, resolution, amendment, and other debatable questions. Now, of course, to me, that just sounds like a bunch of bull, you know what I'm saying? So one thing, or really the only concern that I've seen from the right is, hey, if you get rid of the filibuster, then that's only going to allow the Republicans to do whatever they want whenever they get back into power. But my thing is, they're going to do that anyway. They did that with Trump. They ignored all the norms. They ignored rules. They ignored what the majority of Americans want. They just did what they wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? So it just confuses me on why people are defending something that is only standing in the way of real progression. And of course, one of the ugliest people in the Senate, probably in the whole entire world, this dude had the nerve to say, if my colleagues try to break the Senate to silence those millions of Americans, we will make their voices heard in this chamber in ways that are more inconvenient for the majority in this White House than what anybody has seen in living memory. Now, to me, that sounds like a threat, especially what happened last year on January 6th. Crazy folks are going to see that and literally think you're calling them to action. You know what I'm saying? So this, to me, right here, will define Mr. Joe Biden and his entire presidency. It could be 4 years or it could be 8. But honestly, if he doesn't follow through with this, we can't depend on him.